Here we are, week 2, and it's pretty cram-packed, so let's dive in. Man, this week was full of a lot. I kicked it off by going through a couple of my guitars and restringing them. I wanted to get Scary Terry up and running because it's nice having multiple guitars in the same tuning that are built pretty much the same and have the same pickups. Once strings start getting dull on one, you just put it down and then start with the next one. Typically like to get through a song with a guitar, and in this case, that's what we were able to do. But I wanted to get those guitars restrung, so I restrung Scary Terry and I got the Icy Mom restrung as well. I really used to hate stringing, like a lot. It's still not my favorite thing, but I found a way to make it more enjoyable. Now I have a fret 12 string thing. The fret 12 string thing is a string recycling mummy. It's a design that fret 12 has had for a long time, and if you're not familiar with fret 12, I think one of the first things they did was Mark Tremonti's Sound in the Story Guitar Clinic, which was then followed by an Alter Bridge Fortress guitar clinic, guitar clinics from Josh Rand and Clint and John from Seven Dust, Jim Root. I mean, they actually have some really great clinics. I found out about the string thing years ago, really. They've had it as one of their designs for guitar straps and stickers and various things, and I've always thought the art was really cool. It's like this mummy that's made out of guitar strings, right? A couple of years ago, they started pushing that they were actually making like physical string things, and I was like, oh god, I get my hands on one. That's the coolest thing ever. So the string thing is this like mummy model, you know, it's about 12 inches tall, and it has perforations through it so you can slide guitar strings through. So, you know, every time I go through a guitar and clip all the strings off, I have to make myself actually restring the guitar before I go to the string thing, or I just won't restring the guitar. It's a really cool thing, and it stays with my recording gear or at my house. I don't really like to take it on the road with me because I don't trust that it wouldn't get broken by something or someone, and I don't want it to. Once those strings were done, it was time to jump back into recording.
I feel like I'm finally getting back in the groove of recording. I think Jacob probably hates it because I'm listening for things that are inconsistencies, and you know, you want some of that in there because it's organic, but then there's some of it that's like, oh no, that note was whiffed. Gotta go back and do that. I do have to give him credit though. He doesn't roll his eyes every time I say that now. He pulled a muscle in one of his eyes on the last album, and so that's why it took us so long to release it. But through some Zen yoga, he's learning to breathe his way through it, or it could be a birthing class. I'm not sure, but the breathing is very similar either way.
First off the bat, we decided to jump back into Eviscerate. Since the last time we recorded it, I kind of had this little lead texture thing in my head, and we're in the studio. This is where you get to add those things. You get to make it bigger than life. So the way we look at it is record it. If we can record it, take a day, listen to it, and it still sounds good, it's like, okay, it's worth doing on the album. Throw those in, and then Evan can do what he wants with them, which, you know, he's a wizard.
I'm really excited to get Eviscerate out. That was, I think, it was one of the first songs that we completed the demo on for this.
The next song we decided to tackle was Beldam, which we talked about in week 1. This was about getting like the heavy intro, getting the choruses, getting the bridge, getting the backing for the guitar solo, all those things put together. I'm feeling really good about where the heaviness is going. Also, you know, being able to add those little flavor things here and there. I really want to get through all of the rhythm stuff before I really focus in on leads. That kind of wraps up Beldam for me for guitars. So the next song that we worked on in week 2 is a song that still has a working name. I don't know what we're gonna call it on the album, but I'm not gonna tell you because I don't have to.
The working title is 3 Mice in a Wind Tunnel. And you'll have to ask Jacob why all of the demos have extraordinarily stupid names. Jacob will probably talk about he and I are having a disagreement on part of this song.
There is a section of the song that Ross and I haven't agreed on. The other guys are kind of, aloof to it. Both of us are not very good at, I guess, communicating what we think should be there. I have like the demo, that's just been like it has been for a long time. And for me, it's really hard to step outside of a demo like that, and you just kind of get fatigued when you've listened to something the same way for like weeks or months on end.
We got through all of his clean stuff on that song. The heavy stuff coming out of the bridge is where we can't seem to agree on what to do, so we're gonna demo it both ways, have the other guys in the band vote on it, and if it's a split vote, then Evan gets the final say. But beyond that, the other song that we've tackled is Set Me Free. The first album needed to be fresh, so I wanted us to have kind of a jumping off point with a clean slate. But the second album, I had the idea of bringing some older songs back. I'd been talking to Jake about it for a while. There were some songs that I had written and done that I thought never got the justice they deserved. Justice. I was throwing a couple of songs in the ring, and I really encouraged Jacob to throw Set Me Free in because I've always loved that song.
Set Me Free has been around for a long time. I wrote that song when I was like probably 16 years old. It really was my favorite song from that time period of writing. I felt like it's always been a banger. I think we got everything, all of my rhythm stuff done on it. So all the heavy guitars, and then also all of the clean stuff, because it's a pretty driving song, but we like those crunchy, clean verses and how those set up. So we went through and did some of the little lead texture things like I talked about before. Those just these little song enhancers. It's like salt and pepper for your song, I don't know why I picked food for that, but that's where we are.
The amount of layering in the not completely overdriven guitars, I forgot how tedious that gets, because it's like, okay, so we got your main clean broken up tone, let's roll back a tone knob, or let's switch pickups, or let's add this effect in your pedal board, and there's a lot of experimentation that goes into it. Fortunately, we are recording everything direct, so we're running through our MT15s into the 2-notes load box. On the last album, we mic'd all of his guitars, and we could say we did it. They made it on the album, so they were good in that sense, but going with the 2 notes and using some of the impulse responses that we have, it's given us just a banger of a tone coming straight out of the amp, and hopefully that's less that Evan has to work on it and finesse to make them sound good, and it'll give him more time to be more creative with the mixes. With the demos, he's already said that they sound fantastic on the guitar tones, so it's like anything. If you can start with an excellent starting point, then when it comes time to polish and really refine things, it's gonna just enhance everything. One of the surprising things that's happened through week 2 is we actually took one of the songs completely back to the drawing board. The music was great, but just what I had written I wasn't happy with, so I reached out to Jacob and was like, hey, let's see about maybe speeding this up, and this lame part that I had you put in, let's take that out and just go back with it, because the song is angry in nature, given the subject matter, but we'll get to that one later.
That pretty much wraps up week 2 and everything we got done. So we're still working on what the crowdfunding is gonna look like for the album. We've had just so much on our plates lately that it's kind of low on the totem pole, but we're gonna talk about that, get that figured out. In the meantime, tell us in the comments what you think would be cool for perks, different things. The last time we did pics and posters and like custom laminates and some other things, while we love doing that, we like changing it up too. We don't want you to feel like we're just recycling the old. So leave a comment, tell us what you think would be cool. We have some ideas, but I don't know, you may make us go, oh, that's a great idea. That wraps up week 2, so make sure you like, subscribe, follow on all the social medias, and we'll see you next time.